definitely, cacao is an antidepressant. Talking about depression, is an antidepressant. It produces serotonin and endorphins, which are, natural mood enhancers, chemicals, neurotransmitters that we can produce in our brain. It's also really good for your cardiovascular system because it helps with the circulation. From a spiritual point of view, because of all these combinations, serotonin, endorphins, the magnesium, and that kind of like circulation helps to unblock emotions, because you are kind of like more tuned, like it really helps to feel integrated. So there is download of information when you're drinking cacao, like the things that you think and you meditate and you reflect, it helps to unblock emotions.
Hello my friends, welcome back to Who on Earth. I've been away a little while. I had a health condition, a panic disorder, and then a lot of chronic fatigue, a lot of chronic pain, and still a lot of that's here, but I decided one of my ways of rebuilding would be to get back to a bit of normality. I thought, well, actually, I recorded an episode of Who on Earth before. I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I told you. I can't even remember. It feels like a lifetime ago. I went to an ancient forest to go and be with myself and really take time, and spent 10 days there, and lots of stuff came up. But before I did it, I'd recorded episode 13 of season 2 with a really cool person from Venezuela who I've started working with on the Meditation with Michael store, bringing this beautiful cacao brand. And there's 4 different types. There's Cerdilago, there's Chiagua, Canaboa, and another one that always slips my mind. But then they also have, I've like the nibs on my breakfast in the morning, and these husks, so you can actually have cacao tea as well, so it's a bit lighter. And I really wanted to get her on. So the person that's going to be starting Who on Earth all over again, kind of the way it's been going, is Marjory Carrero. Such a beautiful person, and it shows she used to be more in the corporate side of things. She was doing work with like the World Cup in Brazil and the Olympics, and then she had like a shift and realised that she wanted to work in alignment with her true self. And then, as all things do, a little serendipitous moment where she was in a cacao ceremony and everything just clicked. And Venezuela is one of the best growers of cacao, and she's from Venezuela, and she's got this link in London, and it just felt like it was right for her. So I'll let her do the talking. She'll obviously tell her story far better than I can. Now, if you are new to the show, or you're just so happy to see that we're back because you love the other guests, could you just drop us a like? It really helps. Where I'm not really into doing all the sales stuff, I'll be honest. I can't be bothered with it. It's not my jam. Please like me. So your like, and if you subscribe and you want to see other people, it just tells the algorithm, hey, this is a show worth watching to other people, and they'll also get to see beautiful guests like Marjory. But we have a new sponsor. I'm not going to do anything at the start, and I'm just going to throw in, well, you guys have heard me speaking about Ether Herbals, right? With the Dream Healer one, which you take before bed for like lucid, with the dreaming, with the Blue Lotus, and also the spray, Agua de Florida. And we've got a new one coming out called Beautiful Morning, and I'm going to put a little advert in the middle. Not even going to have an advert at the start this time, and we'll just let you guys enjoy the show. How about that? All right, peace and love, enjoy it. Well, thank you for coming on the show. For those who don't know, Marjory is actually part of a bit of a collaboration I've been doing with Meditation with Michael's store, where you got this beautiful beautiful cacao that straight away blew me away. Massive cacao boy myself, so I'm a bit of a connoisseur, and this has been, for me, my favourite one, and that's why I was so passionate. And then when I met Marjory, who she was as a person just resonated straight away, and I thought, we'll get you on the show, tell your story. But I always like to start with giving the guest a chance to just show a little bit about what they are. So do you mind just letting the audience know what we're going to be doing, and then we'll go from there.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for having me, for the space, the time, and the energy today. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And hello, everyone. What I would like to do today is just to initiate our conversation, just to do a little bit of grounding and intention. It's a great way to honor Mama Cacao and to honor ourselves as well, and the time that we give ourselves for intentions and grounding. So I would like just to share a little bit of lavender oil.
I do love lavender.
Yeah. And so just keep it in your wrist. First, what we do is think of an intention that we're going to ground while drinking the cacao, but this is gonna just bring some calmness to ourselves just now. So
I also invite the audience, I don't like doing anything blindly. stumbling through the darkness. No, I think everybody should have an intention. So one thing you'd like to maybe bring into the podcast episode, and then make it simple, feel the emotion behind it rather than empty words, and you can do it with us. So I'm going to have a little smell of the lavender. Hopefully it comes through, guys. Sorry.
And then we can, just have another deep breath for another round. And let the lavender just come and integrate and touch our soul. And what I would like to do now is I made some cacao with 100% cacao from Venezuela, from my homeland where I'm from. And this is kind of like a medium dose. So when we talk about ceremonial and just a daily dose, we go from 20 grams up to 50 grams. So this is 35 grams. So it's kind of like give us a really nice energy, sustain kind of like mood enhancement. And so I would like to ground our intention with some cacao.
Maybe we could even invite the audience if they've got a cup of cacao, or if they don't yet, put this on pause right now. Go get Mama Cacao and get your 15 20 grams and join us.
Yes.
It's a cute little cup, by the way. For those who can't see, by the way.
So this cacao I made with love and intention, and also apply a little bit of Reiki as well. Normally I kind of like take my time when I prepare cacao, especially when I'm going to share it with other people. I love to kind of like, I hope that, or I wish that the cacao that the person is going to drink brings and materialize any healing or any dreams or any intentions that they might have. So there is an extra kind of like...
And for people who don't know what Reiki is?
So Reiki is just kind of like an energy, it's a technique, it's a Japanese technique to heal through hands and just to bring a channel, some healing connection from the universe towards, and it could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a drink, so it could be even a photo, but it's just how we connect that energy from the universe.
Well, everything is energy, right?
Exactly.
Nothing is separate.
Exactly.
There's no little us-shaped cutout and then the universe. We're all the universe.
True, yeah.
People always I always think people think of God or universe as something separate, as if they just exist outside of it.
True.
We're all part of it.
Yeah, so, we are all part of it. We're one with the universe as well.
And I think even the NHS have brought in Reiki. There is a power to
it. Yes, that's true. So this cup of cacao also has a little bit of orange essence. I always invite people just to try and be an alchemist, because some people might like it just pure, like an espresso 100%. But some other people like, just give me a little bit of...
I'm one of the other people.
Exactly, yeah. So obviously we invite people not to have any sugar and try to do maybe like a natural sweetener. So it could be a little bit of agave, a little bit of honey, a little bit of coconut sugar that is also quite natural. It's got a little bit of nutmeg and cinnamon and that touch of orange. So I hope you enjoy it. I've not had it with
orange before, but I love chocolate orange, so I'm very excited.
I hope you enjoy it. So we can ground and maybe just close our eyes for like 30 seconds and bring that intention. And I invite the audience, why are you listening to us today? What would you like to come out of this experience with? It's more knowledge, it's just feel the calm. So just bring an intention here and now. And if you have that cup of cacao, or maybe something else, but it's just to be grateful as well for this time and space. So thank you everyone for listening to us today, and thank you Michael for having us.
De nada.
Gracias. So we can have a little bit of smell. Sense the smell, and then I'll invite you probably to have a first sip and just let the cacao navigate through your mouth without swallowing it first. And just connect with any taste feelings that you might get. Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Is it okay? Is it rich? Is it thin? And connect maybe what sort of emotions and feelings that brings you.
It definitely cheers me out. It's lovely, that.
I love when I do the experiences, and we know that cacao and chocolate is made of cacao, and obviously this is a new invitation for something healthier, right? So I love when people connect, and I bring them to a connection with the inner child, because normally chocolate is a memory of childhood.
Well, my advent calendars.
And so like people have it like, oh yeah, like I remember my grandma, I remember memories from when I was a child, and it's great. It's like, okay, let's connect them maybe with the happiest moment of your childhood through cacao, just to bring that empowerment.
This really is my favourite cacao. Sorry,
thank
the
you.
orange as well. Because you've got, this is one of the things that excited me. You actually have 4 different options, right? You've got the Canova, you've got the Cerdo, but there's 4, right? Which one do we have currently that we're drinking right
This
now?
one actually, trying to be an alchemist, I have a combination of Sur del Lago and Canoavo. So I took a piece.
You're playing with me.
Yes.
I've never. Why have I never considered to mix them? I don't know. And you even have you have the husk, so you can make a tea with it as well.
Yes.
And then we also have the cacao nibs if you want to put it on some cereal or yogurt. Like
exactly.
The variety. I don't know anybody else who does that amount of variety, and then to the level of quality. The fact that you're from Venezuela is a lovely touch, because that means you understand from an experiential level deeply the roots of that country, which we'll touch on as well.
Yes.
And there was always a song that I quite like, I'll share with the audience as well. So it's Mama Cacao, gracias por su medicina. 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 And we'd usually do that for about 5 minutes.
Amazing.
Gradually rising, and then coming down.
I got goosebumps, I mean, the pronunciation, everything is beautiful.
Well, I feel like you have to feel. Sometimes people think that the words are enough, but if I describe Venezuela to you, it wouldn't feel like Venezuela, it wouldn't smell like Venezuela, I wouldn't see the trees and the cacao. Yeah. It's just the direction. Michael, Marjory, it's just the direction. Don't get attached to the labels. Yeah. So I know we're a bit short on time because you've got a few things on. So whilst we're enjoying this cacao, I'd like to start with, could you just tell the audience where you're from? I think we kind of just hinted at it, but yes. What was it like for you growing up?
I'm originally from Venezuela, okay? Venezuela is the northest point of South America. So our north, all the north of the country is the Caribbean Sea. So it's a very warm and lovely country. Yes, I was born and raised there until I was 22 years old when I decided. A
couple of years ago then, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. We like to think that, but yeah. So yeah, growing up, my city is called Valencia, like Valencia, Spain. Venezuela was colonized by Spaniards back in 1492. And we have an heritage, will you say? Sorry, everyone, about my
yeah, that your heritage
accent
comes from there. Exactly. You speak English a lot better than I speak Spanish, don't worry.
Well, it's been a while, but because now I'm back and forth between Venezuela and UK. Yeah. Then sometimes the accent just gets on the way.
I like it.
Yeah,
really
yeah. It brings some authenticity. Yeah.
So I'm from Venezuela.
Exactly.
Sorry for the accent.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I was born in Valencia. Again, I was there for 22 years, 23 more or less, and yeah, childhood great, like nothing major really. My family come from the Andes, so both parents, they come from the La Cordillera de los Andes, which is it's the starting point of the Andes. It goes all the way down to Chile, so Patagonia and all that, Peru, the Machu Picchu, etc. So yeah, they come from there. So the relationship with their culture is like they are very down to earth people. So I got 3 siblings, so we were all educated to give a lot because that's where my parents come from. The culture is just to give, be very hospitable.
Yeah.
So yeah, we grew up with that.
It's the kind of house you want to come to.
Yeah, and it has helped tremendously in many cases. In some others, it's been a good opportunity to grow because we know nowadays, things should be in a cycle. You give, receive in a way, and you have to work with boundaries as well. Otherwise, people take you for granted. And so it's being a massive, opportunity.
Give a bit too much, can't we, sometimes?
Yeah.
If it's not reciprocated, I don't know about you, but I have parts that start becoming bitter, and then it's no longer about the giving, it's about this obligation to reciprocate. So
exactly.
I can understand.
So, and again, it's not about giving people, it's more about having, my own boundaries and giving from a place that, I'm not waiting for anyone, but especially I'm not sacrificing my own mental health just to accommodate and please people. So anyway, that's part of probably one of the key things about my education, just being generous, honest, transparent, and be a giver. So then yes, after a few years, I graduated back home. I'm an accountant, but background, so completely different.
So why did you get into the accountancy?
Well, this is a funny story. So when I finished high school, I got like the best grades in chemistry, math, and physics. I think
Someone's a little smarty pants then, eh?
So I got the best grades, and I don't know, I love it. I love science. So then I remember my chemistry teacher. He said to me like, you should consider going for chemical engineering because you're good, you love it, you're passionate about mixing things, and you get it all right. So anyway, I talked to my dad, and my dad had, he knew a few people in Valencia. Valencia is a city of about 1.3 million people. So you get to know each other quite quickly. So anyway, my dad is like, is that what you want to study? Yes. Okay, I know someone in the university that maybe can help to find out how you can come into the university. And, and I don't have to say that, in Venezuela, when you know people, things can happen.
Okay.
So my dad knew someone, the dean of the university, and he spoke to him.
That's the headmaster to the English.
Okay, so the headmaster. So then he said, okay, have you taken the test, like the national test? And then he checked, the grades, etc. And he was like, yeah, you got the grades, but you've been allocated to a different career. So let me see what I can do internally to reallocate you to this career.
So you get allocated careers?
Well, you choose, you have to pick 10 careers.
So you got to pick though? It wasn't picked for you?
Yes, you got to pick, but I got the first option was another career that was accountancy. No accountancy, no, it was administration. Okay. And it was in engineering. So what he tried to do was let me check internally rather than going to the accountancy, you come to the engineering. So anyway, what he said is I can't do anything, I can't do the system, but what you can do is just go to the how you say, the introductory course, find out if you really like the career, and then if you like, maybe you just take the test and wait another year while I help you, whatever. So anyway, I went there for 1 month, and I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to study because I was so passionate about the thing. And I was told that between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning, your brain is a sponge. So you can absorb any information.
See, I'm a night owl, so that I wouldn't know.
And I'm not a morning person, but I was so, determined that, yes, I'm going to make it happen. And also I love partying, and, at that time I was just very, enthusiastic and adventurous. And so anyway, I was doing that for a month, and I was hardly passing the test that they were giving us. And that was the introductory phase. And my dad came to me one day and sat down, and he was like, Daughter, I'm seeing you that you're putting a lot of effort and dedication. And I'm worried because you are very enthusiastic. You like partying, you like dancing, you like parranda. Parranda is I went to say dancing. And I just see yourself suffering because you're going to take a career that is not going to give you the results you want, and you're going to be sacrificing part of your youth. So why don't you just consider something different? So maybe just take the career that already you got from the test. and just take it from there. And I was like, okay. So anyway, I just, slept on it. And then I said to my dad, I think you're right. And I think I'm going to do that because I can see myself probably struggling a lot in the future. If this is the introduction and I'm barely passing, imagine the rest.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You'd have to put a lot of extra effort in.
And I think it was funny because now it's a memory. Like, imagine, like I wouldn't have lived all the life I had because when I did accountancy, I was able to study, to work, but also to enjoy life. So I was like partying, but I was very responsible. So anyway,
you were responsible, yeah? You weren't like me then?
No, I was super like, I don't know, like I think I've been quite well structured.
I was going to say, is that where the grounded, you said your family are quite grounded?
My parents, they were very much like putting responsibilities on us since we were kids. So for example, weekends, my brother will be like washing the cars, like in the garage. Marjory, you will be in charge of the bathrooms. My other sister, you will be in charge of the food. So everyone had a responsibility. And that was since we were...
That's brilliant though, because the way I see it is being a parent isn't just keeping you alive, it's guiding you on how to successfully navigate this experience we call the human experience.
Exactly.
And it sounds like your parents were doing that from the get-go, but quite responsibly.
Yeah.
Not putting too much on you, but enough to sort of give you this sense of independence, which then probably gave you self-respect in yourself and blossom from that.
My mom was the lovely one. My dad was the kind of like, you got to do this and that. So there was a little bit of a good balance there. But I remember my dad was the one giving us a lot of a structure. So for example, when I finished high school, he was like, okay, you're going to university. I used to give you, imagine he gave me monthly, I don't know, let's say £100.
Yeah.
And when you go to university, it's like, this is not going to be enough. I'm going to university now, like more expensive. And he was like, if you really want to have more, I'm just going to keep the 100. Anything else you want to do, you have to work. So I started my first job outside the family business when I was 17. I was like, definitely I need the money if I want to party.
What was the job?
It was in a fast food chain.
Oh, okay.
Like imagine Kentucky Fried Chicken, Kentucky, KFC, like the Venezuelan version.
All right then.
And I was just frying chicken.
VFC?
It's called Arturo's. Arturo's. And it used to like just 4 or 5 hours per day for 5 days. And so after university 7 to 11 in the morning, straight 12 to 4.
So you're a grafter. You put the work in.
Yeah. But also I enjoy...
I was about to say, do you party to make up for it?
But I enjoy it a lot. So we're like, okay, until 4 I'm working, then go home, take a little siesta, 7, 8 p.m. Yeah. And if I was studying, I was using the evenings to study or the weekends, but then Friday or Saturday, I will just go out.
What's the nightlife like in Venezuela?
Crazy. It starts really late. It's similar to
I noticed that when
Spain.
I went to the hot countries, people are on the beach with the children and it's like 11 p.m. and I'm like,
we're
not used to that over here.
No. So in Venezuela, you normally you will go to university and then you will go home, lunch 2 hours. You will have a siesta. Then in the afternoon, you will do other stuff. But then around 5, 6, people will come together and get around in another areas. Like we had a sort of like an avenue and people with the cars will come around and just hang out for a bit, then go home, have a little bit of dinner, sometimes another siesta, take a shower, and then the party will be probably from 11 onwards that you will go to a club or to somebody's house, like 10. Maybe somebody's house a little bit earlier, but the club.
Pre-drinks.
Yeah, exactly. 11, 12, until, if you were home like 3 o'clock, that was early.
Okay.
So 5 o'clock. And then people after clubbing, they will go and there is a place called like for arepas. Arepas is our traditional dish. It's like a cornbread.
Okay.
That you fill with chicken, beef, or vegan, etc. So people after partying because of the alcohol, they will go and have one. And so you go home, you rest, and then the following day you wake up like really like stable, like not
it
like
doesn't
massive.
sound like my we would be having kebabs, dirty, horrible kebabs, or chip butties or something.
Similar, yeah. But I mean, same
we were a
effect.
bit more irresponsible than you were.
Yeah.
And what was so I'm curious, obviously a lot of the audience won't be familiar with the background of Venezuela, especially at that time. What was it like in the actual country? What was going on at the time?
It was back in the, up until, probably cut it short, it's like up until 2000, things were great. We had a change of system, political system around 1999, 1998, 1999. But before that, I mean, things were really good in terms of like security, safety, jobs, really rich country. So in the 80s, Venezuela used to be called like the Saudi Arabia or the Dubai of Latin America, like because we are really rich in oil.
Right, okay,
So,
I didn't know that.
So it's probably one of the biggest reserves in the world are in Venezuela. So obviously the country was just depending or just took for granted. And I think this is where also, you know, Amazonic comes into place. The country or us as a population, we took for granted what we had. And we didn't learn enough on how to diversify risks and how to kind of like be self-producers at the same time. So we were giving oil away and receiving everything else, you know, back like from the United States or from Europe, etc. So we didn't have enough knowledge on how to like agriculture, so just very basic. So we didn't prepare the country to export, for example, any of the agriculture and so on, or just to produce for ourselves. So there started to be limitations, and when there was a new system coming up, things changed because, I mean, I don't want really to make this podcast like to talk about politics.
I just wanted to give a little bit of an understanding of where Marjory's come from.
Yeah, but yes, it was super rich. So we really enjoy life. I mean, in my case, I'm up until 2000, and then 2003 is when I left the country. So my family had a petrol station, so a business in the industry. So I was really close to that, like seeing the situation. And at some point, my parents were like, maybe best if you just go and try to learn something different, maybe English, and then come back, and maybe things are different. But they were not. So that took me from there, and now it's been 22 years since I left the country, and obviously the journey has been pretty intense, especially the first 10 years.
Well, let's get into that then. So you were doing accountancy. Your parents have told you to go and...
the accountancy, I think, you know, this is interesting as well. When I was finishing high school, my parents were like, you should... Oh, actually, I was asking, I don't know what I want to study. So I went to see like a sort of like person in psychology that guides you to make a lot of tests to see where you are good at. And so I really like health. Like I wanted to be a doctor at some point, and I like this kind of like touch and connection with people and be able to heal them, because I was playing that when I was a kid. But I remember when I was 8-9 years old, I was seeing a kid being like with a blood, receiving a blood test. So I just saw the kid when a doctor was just taking the blood. And when I saw that and the kid was screaming, I fainted. And I had a trauma because I fainted. I hit my head and I was in hospital for a day, and I had like, how you call it, concussions. And so that was horrible. So obviously I rule out like, no, I can't see any blood in my life. So I rule out.
A little bit queasy with that, were you?
Yeah. And so when I did this test, this lady was like, yeah, definitely you're good for medicine or be a dentist or administration, accountancy, nothing really creative as such. So anyway, out of all the careers that she listed based on my results, I was like, accountancy. And you know what? Because accountants in Venezuela, they just charge people for a signature. And at the time, I have to say, I was like, that's pretty appealing.
Yeah.
I just check people's numbers and reports, and if they look okay, I don't need to make them. I just need to audit them.
Seemed quite an easy win.
Yeah. And so I just signed them, and then it was a better job, categorized-wise, compared to just a manager, operations manager, administration, that sort of thing. So I was like, okay, let's go for that.
So how long were you doing the accountancy for?
So university was 5 years.
5 years, okay.
5.5, because then there were riots, and I decided, this is a nice memory as well.
Go on.
I decided to go for public education. Having said about my dad and how well structured he was like, okay, I can put you in private education, but then you have to follow certain rules. And from there, I was like, I need to be free. Like, I just can't.
You don't do well in the cage.
No, I'm
Same.
Aries.
I do what you
I'm
do.
Aries, I'm fire. And I was like, no, I need to get away. Like when he said, if you want more money, you have to work. Okay, I'll work from the age of 17. Okay, if you want education, private education, you need to follow these rules. I was like, So because I had approved my test and I got the place in the public university, I was like, you know what, this sounds like he's going to give me the freedom because then he's going to be probably threatening me like, I'm not going to pay my dad sometimes he used to be a little bit like that just to put a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
We were like, no, I'm not giving you the money or anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for the public and I'm going to tell him just save that money and probably later you can, sponsor me another type of education.
Yeah.
And so that's what I
He
did.
didn't want to weaken you by just giving. He needed to sort of go, look, pressure.
He had a massive saving, because normally
it wasn't about the money. It was about making sure his daughter was competent in life.
Yes, true. Which
Have you got any? So far, I've noticed that there's been a lot of everything seems to be going to plan. Is there any sort of stories you've got that because nothing goes to plan? Have you got any little side bits that just
you like a little bit more?
Of course, I'd like a little bit more. It's gorgeous.
So yeah, no, the university that was supposed to be 5 years, it was 5.5,
Yes.
and that's why. Thank you. And that's why I was explaining because the system riots, and sometimes we couldn't go to lessons to the classrooms because there will be people on the street like protesting and things like that.
Was that scary or was it quite well?
It was scary because there will be the little bombs that they throw,
bombs.
But the bombs that make you cry.
Tear gas.
Yeah, things like that.
Really?
Yeah, and that was the students. Yeah, students like maybe from like 18, 19 years old up until like 23.
Yeah, not messing
Still
about.
young, no. So they were protesting. So anyway, that sometimes they have to close classrooms, everything, and that calculating took me another half a year. And then summer, that could have taken me 6 years, but because summertime, I was like, okay, they were opening a special windows of people to take extra.
Like a little summer school sort of thing.
Exactly. I was like, let me take 2. Every summer I was like 2, and then I could probably reduce the time from 6 years to 5.5. Any story of things that didn't go to...
I'm just curious because sometimes guests can get stuck in just telling us what happened in terms of the successes, but that doesn't help the audience necessarily relate because we all have adversity as well. And actually when someone does let us know about maybe a bit of adversity, they also let us know what they've done to overcome it. And I always think that's a lovely thing to share, not trying to maybe paint a picture of perfection.
No, exactly. No, that's absolutely right. When I was in Venezuela, definitely there were a lot of adversity. So I have to say, again, the political situation. So, for example, I started a job with an airline company, and probably that's not the most relevant one. I will go to the most relevant one in a minute. And then at some point halfway, they said, we can't pay you guys anymore. So you just have to be reduced to part-time. And that was the start of my career.
How was that?
So that was my first job in corporate. And I was traveling around Latin America, etc., as an auditor. And they were like, we can't pay you anymore. So I was like, okay, what do I do? So luckily I was living with my parents. So I wasn't really under financial pressure. But still, it was just how you feel like internally, like your self-esteem is like, what do I do here? What's going to happen? And at some point they were like, actually, we have to just retire everyone. Redundancy to everyone.
How was that for you then? Because it's your first...
My first job, and it was actually really nice in a way because it was traveling, audit airline companies, etc., etc. But so that wasn't good. Obviously, leaving my country, it was probably the hardest.
I was going to say.
It was the hardest. When you talk about adversity, is when you leave your country, and then the massive adversity is when you think like, I'm going to be back in 6 months, and that's fine. I'm taking a break. Great, I'm going to the UK. And then you're not able to go back. And then you need to start really surviving or trying on the go to come up with a plan and resilience to kind of like, how am I going to deal with all of this? Because
and how was that for you? Did that bring up some intense emotions? Of course, I imagine.
Yeah, now you're touching a part of my life that's... So the first 10 years, so Yeah, so I came here 2003.
Okay.
And again, having lived in Venezuela nicely, etc., then you have to come and really be resilient because you don't speak the language. I didn't
Plus
speak the
the weather's
language.
shite, isn't it?
Eh?
The weather's shite. It's always cold. It's raining, and you.
I'm not that because for
Oh, you're
us,
not bothered?
no, because it's a new culture, it's a
Right.
new country, it's something that in Venezuela we used to see like that so far away, and the royalty, and all the things that you see that you watch on TV. So that wasn't really a problem. It was actually, wow, we're gonna get to experience a new weather, even if it's rainy.
My ex-girlfriend was from Australia,
Oh,
and when
go.
it started snowing, everybody else is like that in Manchester, and she's like she's amazed by it, and it shows that the objective reality is then when you make it subjective, your point of view, your perspective is what the masochist actually enjoys pain,
exactly.
Whereas you don't like it, and it's just the way you're looking at it. So you were looking at it through a lens of like, this is new, this is exciting.
Exactly. It's
but it's still, at home.
Well, yes. When I arrived, and I have to say, it was super easy to get here in terms of like the ticket, the school, and at that time you didn't need a working visa.
Oh, okay.
Because we providing a letter of the school, like a full-time course, wherever you were at the airport, you were given a stamp to allow you to work 20 hours per week. And that was like for Venezuela, I was like, wow, we can just go to the UK, it's easy. We just need to save the money for the course and obviously for the accommodation. But anyway, coming here, the accent completely different because even that I was kind of like from 1 to 8, I arrived with a 4 in English. So I was more able to read, listen and speaking, but read and write. I could defend myself. But then, coming here and living in a place with more people, luckily, when I arrived, I was with friends.
Okay, so you weren't totally isolated then? Because that could have been completely
No,
different.
I actually came with a partner.
Okay.
Yes, and he was the motor and the driver to kind of like, he's half Venezuelan, half British because he was born here when his parents were doing a postgrad in medicine.
Okay.
So he was born here.
That's helpful then, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then he had his dream all his life that after university he wanted to come and spend time in the land he was born. So so he said to me, "That's my dream," and I said, like, "Yeah, fair enough." And at that point, I didn't see myself really coming here. But then reconsider. We've been together for a while. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I think the beginning tough because you just have to adapt a completely different routine and it's so many things
so
new.
Alien.
Yes, it's so many new things that you have to deal with at the beginning that I think, emotionally speaking, my breakdown was 2005.
Okay, what happened then?
So I was kind of like, studying, fine, working in Starbucks, coffee shops. I was a nanny, so I had to do like 3 different nanny, of free American kids.
Okay.
And I used to go to, so you couldn't miss a school because in order for you to keep the visa, you had to attend 80%,
right,
or 85%. Otherwise, you will be deported. Like you have to go.
Okay.
So I have to go to school first. I was in Wimbledon, so it was 1 hour 15 commute to get to school 9 till 12, then 1 to 3 or 4, I can't remember, Starbucks, and then the nanny until 8. So I was pretty much...
You're a grafter then, aren't you? You put the work in.
Until 8 p.m., 8:30, I was full on since 6 o'clock in the morning. So obviously, you don't have time to process any emotions. You just are just kind of like going and surviving.
Go.
And I think that's where my major adversity came when 2005, then relationship broke after 7 years.
Okay, that's tough that then. It's quite a long relationship.
Tough, exactly. And then, okay, so what do I do now? And do I go back home? Do I stay? And I was like, no, I'm going to stay. I have already built something here.
Okay.
I was already working for Keystone University, accountancy a little bit, and then part-time over the weekends in a Starbucks. But anyway, it was just a hit, emotional hit. I'm not going to disclose what happened, but it was pretty intense, pretty like broken, completely broken. And so then it's just to lift yourself up. And obviously I couldn't be like, I'm just going to take a week off just to cry. And
it's needed.
Because of the situation in Venezuela, my parents were not able to send any money here. Even if they had the money, we were not like rich people or anything, but even if they had the money, because of the system there were no bank transfers at all. So you couldn't share.
So you're really cut off by this point.
So I have to be here, work here, pay my bills here, while I was grieving a breakup. So yeah, that was really tough. Then I remember my mom, and it was the best advice she could ever give to me. She was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I would love to do a master's and do something for my career." So she was like, and that was probably like a little bit a year later. And she was like, "I think we can help you. So go for it." But the only thing is like they could pay only the fees and not the maintenance. Like you mean food, accommodation,
just ways of living. Yeah.
Exactly. When I went to university, they said to me, you should only work 10 hours per week because it's going to be a lot of work. So I took a master's science in international business in the University of Birkbeck in 2005. I was wondering when the
international business was going to come in.
My mind would it's very, I'm a citizen of the world, and I love traveling and meeting new cultures. So I thought like definitely need to put that in there. So that came from there, and it was a full year. And when they said 10 hours per week, I was like, what time are the lessons? Yeah, in the evenings, 3 times a week. I should be able to handle that. And I was already working for Kingston University as an account manager, 30 hours per week. When I made the numbers, I couldn't reduce my hours to 10. Because I didn't have the money to pay for the bills, but I had the money to pay for the fees. So I had to make tough decisions. And I was like, what do I really want to do? Well, I want to really finish this. And that was the only way for me to stay in the country. There was no other way.
Right, okay. So it was pretty much...
Already the students, as like just English students, that had reached the capacity or the availability to do more years of that. So the only way was doing a high education, master's, etc. So anyway, I went for that one. So it was a full year, sacrificing like Saturday and Sundays, 9 to 9 at the library.
I'm seeing a lot of sacrifice that you put in. This universe has there's a price for everything. Yeah. The polarity means it all must be balanced. If you want this, fine, but then this is the price. It seems like you're someone who's willing to pay the price. Yes. I think I have already come to a little bit of a balance in life, because at some point I realized like, how much can someone really, and to be honest, it's like not suffering horribly, like, health, it's there, etc. But I think at that time I wasn't really aware of mental health. Yeah, it wasn't quite as big. It's been the last 20 years. It's really come up, hasn't it?
Exactly. So definitely I had a breakdown. I went home and literally the doctor, examined and all my hormonal balance was, completely wrong. I had a depression for quite a while without knowing.
How did that manifest for you then? Because depression is quite a blanket term.
The party thing went up like 3 times.
So we just drown in ourselves.
And like I wasn't looking after myself. So I was really like from Thursday to Sunday, I don't know, like, let's just go out. And the way for me to take it out was just dancing and drinking. And to a point, fun, but there was a point that, it was like, this is not sustainable. I can't do that anymore.
And I imagine with your work ethic, that's burning the candles at both ends as well.
In what is that?
Burning the candle at both ends means basically the work is burning the candle and the play, so we're getting our actual emotional state is getting...
Yes. So at some point, definitely I collapsed. And that's when I went to Venezuela just by chance. It was Christmas. And I was like, I got gastritis and I started getting panic attacks.
Right.
So I was at home and sometimes like, my heart.
Nothing's happening and you just start.
I couldn't sleep and it was all the worries and everything. So definitely it was a really intense few years. So I would probably say from 2005 to around 2010, 11, that I wasn't knowing what was going on. I was just surviving. Boom, boom, work and do this and do that. Until I got to Venezuela. And then they actually prescribe antidepressants. And I was like, I haven't ever taken that. So I really pushed myself. Like, I think I did it for a month. And then a good friend, and she's a doctor, she was like, Marjory, don't. Like, get out of that. try, I mean, you are a strong person, you know more, like try to do it differently. So obviously the challenge was way
Did you
bigger.
notice any different effects when you were taking the depression medication?
Of course, because it was like New Year's, and then I said to the doctor, "But can I have a drink on New Year's because it's New Year's?" He was like, "Well, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's New Year's, so maybe have one or two." I have more than that should, so that was irresponsible. So
because I know when I had the depression tablets, I looked at the side effects, and it literally said may cause suicidal tendencies, and I'm like, that's probably the worst thing to give somebody who's depressed, right? And then I started realizing depression. This isn't at the time, but later in my life, that depression's a friend. It's a part of you that's saying too much. Too much.
Stop.
And when we then nullify that with medication, of course, if there's some people have a chemical imbalance that is needed. I'm not saying that's not the case, but far too many people are just given these without really much even scrutiny on why they should have it, when really it was all down to a mental, an emotional, a spiritual, a physical imbalance that came from lifestyle, came from behavior patterns, and a pill was never going to change that. And I was just curious how it...
Yeah, because the pill is just, we call it in Spanish like pañito de agua tibia. It's like a really like nice and, warm towel that when like soothing towel. Like you put it there. But
my barber did it yesterday when he put it on my beard. It's like,
exactly. And that's soothing fun, but it's not really like fixing
it's just covering
the source.
Masking.
So we call it that. For me, antidepressants is just that. It's just a soothing like warm towel, but then you really need to go and get deeper. And I think that's when probably the start of my, healing, kind of like wellness journey started. It started when I was really young, actually.
Okay.
Doing a course 5 days that I think, an ex-boyfriend took me to, and we broke up, and then he's like, yes, please do this course. He had done it. It had been great for him. And then he thought like, well, maybe if I give it to her as a gift, we'll get back together. That wasn't the case. But actually, I'm very, very grateful.
God loves to try it though.
I'm very grateful because that was the first awakening when I was 18 years old. And I think that's probably gave me the drive that you've been listening about university, working, and And then I think when I came to the UK, so that gave me the drive for a few years. And when I came to the UK, then obviously I had to attend other issues like making money to pay the bills, like just try to understand the language, get adapt to the culture. It was like extreme change of culture and structure. Like going to the beach every weekend, like I had an easy life, and I have to say, and that's why probably you say like, tell me some adversities. When I came here, definitely I felt I grew up, but I'm so grateful. Like for me, UK, London is second home. And I describe it like London has given me the drive and the structure, determination. It has made me someone really strong, like in foundations. But then when I go back to Venezuela, it's that opportunity to connect to my essence, my emotions, my feelings, and then have that balance.
Seems very feminine and masculine.
Totally.
Yeah, because I think people get really confused. Feminine and masculine energy is in all of us. It's amplified. It's exemplified through, say, the feminine quality of nurture, through fertility, through creativity, balance.
Totally.
Whereas the masculine's very structured, organised, problem solving, and neither are separate. We're just the embodiment of it. And some people might just channel that differently. So I would say you're not necessarily masculine or feminine, you're both, but you're just channeling one more of it. And it's the issue can be coming when you identify with it.
Exactly.
Because you're both.
Exactly. And it's having that awareness. Totally right. So that's why I mentioned that I was here for 10 years and I got lost. I lost my essence completely. I got out of touch of my feminine side, and that was tough to become to that realization. And okay, we got to do something about this, because definitely depression, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, like excess everywhere, and not looking after myself, and my self-esteem like boom down. So I was still driving like the upside, like she's working, she's able to keep up with things.
Are you a bit like me where you can keep it up but to your own detriment?
Yeah.
'Cause I do have that superpower of I can be feeling awful and no one can tell. Especially since the meditation, and now I'm very balanced. But inside it's like, Like I told you, I'm about to go to a forest for 40 days and 40 nights because I just believe we should all be taking that time for ourselves. Not necessarily so extreme, but I have the capacity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. I'm going to take a moment from the episode to just tell you about something that's really important to me. It's one of my main passions right now. So for starters, anyone who's seen Breaking Bad, I want you to imagine Walter White, the chemist genius, but he went into the wellness centre. Well, that's Bobby the Forager, who is actually my genius, who brings us not only Agua de Florida spray, oh, it's so nice as well. Oh, struggling with the bottle, there we go. If you could smell it, you'd know why I like it. And then also the Dream Healer. Now, the Dream Healer, if anyone's interested in the dream world, we do it for 8 hours a day, if you're lucky. This has got blue lotus flower, it's got bobbin sarna, it's got rose petals, and it's also got from our land mugwort. And then it's mixed with apple cider vinegar, so that there's no, Bobby likes to say, no poison with the medicine, yeah? And you take that before you go to bed. And it really helps with bringing in the lucidity of the dreams, the vividness of the dreams, more restful. And if you work with it steadily, I promise you, I've had some interesting experiences, especially when I was in the ancient forest. And then the spray, you're spraying that, you can't cleanse your aura from outside, that's ridiculous. It's got stuff that we've worked on that we know will have, the fragrance will have an emotive reaction, the chemicals get released, therefore the emotions are more positive and your aura gets cleansed from within. Like the fresh smell of the beach, you straight away you just calm down because you remember those nice beach holidays you had, stuff like that. I told you, I'm not on form right now. Don't you judge me. So if you want to get either of them, you go down to the Meditation with Michael store and you can get them. And then we've also got a beautiful morning. Now this one I'm really excited for. I could do with it. With the chronic fatigue that I've got right now, I need a little pick me up. I don't know about you, but the mornings can be difficult, especially if it's Monday morning, you got that 9 to 5 and you have this beautiful morning, just give you that big pick me up. So I'll delve more into that one when it comes. We'll get a fresh advert for you for that one as well. Otherwise, guys, if you want to support a local company for two guys who mean well, I want nothing but to help you heal your dreams and cleanse your aura, go check out Ether Herbals, one of my passion projects, really. I really do love this. And now that I've done the little sales bit, sorry, forgive me, I'll let you carry on with the episode. Peace and love. So where we were up to was your friend was saying just these pills, you're stronger than this.
Yes.
So did we get off the pills then?
Yes.
Okay.
Like right after, I think I took it for a month, and that was starting in Venezuela, like that Christmas time, that New Year's day. That I remember it was like
How
awful.
were you the day after?
Awful, like the hangover, everything, and even the behavior. I remember my brother saying like you were euphorical, until 6 o'clock in the morning. Like that wasn't you, so no. And obviously I didn't have the awareness, the information. I felt like it's just a pill, because they didn't have any issues with depression in the past. Okay. So anyway, came here, and I was sharing the flat with these friends, and one of them was a doctor, and she was like, "You can do this, get out." And then I started trying to exercise and do all the things. Still, I have half term of 6 more months of the masters to finish. I was like, well, keep going. And after the masters, I just took a break, and I just started to be more aware that no, I'm not going to do these pills anymore. I was just eating healthy and keeping up.
It's not that complicated. People are like, what should I do? And I'm like, meditate, breathe, yoga, exercise, nature, have a bit of purpose in your life.
Yeah, I have to say that I wasn't that also meditation, yoga. No, I think maybe I had barely knowledge of the techniques and the tools I could use. And I think probably was more go home after the university, the library, rest, watch a movie.
Just calm down a little bit.
Maybe gym every now and then. I started seeing other people as well to try to talk about different things. So yeah, that's how I got. And I think I started praying to universe when I get to...
Did you always pray?
I believe in God.
Okay.
Yes,
What's
and I
your
have
version?
conversations with
What's your
God.
version, so we can understand?
What's my?
Well, God could be man in the sky. It could be Shakti. It could be.
It's a soul.
What do we feel it is?
It's an energy. It's a soul, and obviously I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, my vision is what we were shown when I was baptized. Holy
Okay.
Communion and everything. Nowadays, I don't follow the religion that much. I have few opinions of things I have seen, like about going to mass, following a priest. A priest is a human being like us, so
Everyone's fallible.
exactly. So I really believe in the energy in God, and I definitely have experienced like God has done things
It's like
and
a
guide me.
universal energy.
Universal energy could be, but yeah, if you ask me, do you put a picture, a figure there? Yes, it's just the one that I was shown when I was a kid.
I went to church school as well, St. Michael's, so it's hard to shape the narrative.
Exactly. Now what I do is I just complement that, because I know it's
tongue in cheek.
It's God, but now I also trust and believe in other the things that will complement my belief and my essence in a way.
So how was that then that you started bringing that in? You said you started praying.
So yeah, I started praying.
The power of prayer, I used to scoff at it because I was a rebel. I didn't like the school. I didn't like church in the slightest. So for me, God was a G word. So I threw the baby out with the bathwater. And it was later on when a laughing yogi said to me, like one of the holistic health points is spiritual health. And I don't do religion. I didn't mention religion. I spoke about spiritual health.
Exactly.
And then when I understand that, oh wait, no, that was just a man-made structure, and that was their way of interpreting it for whatever reasons, nefarious or benevolent. But actually, I can look at spirituality as my connection to a source greater than myself. Mm-hmm. And I was just curious, when you pray, I feel like you communicate with something that's just in touch with more than my 34 years has been able to do. And it gives me this wider knowledge. And it also gives me this comfort of feeling held. And when I feel safe, I can relax.
Yeah.
So I was curious about how it was for you.
Absolutely. So the way I pray is not like putting hands like that. It's just the meditation and the visualization.
Okay.
So for me, praying is not like repeating the sentences that we were given.
It's not just blind words.
It's just a chat, but a genuine and felt chat where you feel it.
Important that you say that. Felt.
Yes. I remember like one priest that I really admire back home, he made a difference. It's different when you say like what the Bible tells you and you just repeat it. And he was challenging people coming to mass and just saying the same thing all over again. It's like, if you don't feel it,
it's pointless. It's like pointless. I said earlier, you could describe Venezuela, but it isn't Venezuela. It's just the words, it's just the direction.
Exactly. So then when I have a chat with God, it's like, let me connect and really have that feeling and that connection with that universal energy. And that's how I describe it myself. And when I close my eyes and I'm meditating, in that course I mentioned that I did when I was 18 years old, we were given the opportunity to create a sanctuary. Sanctuary?
Oh, sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Yes. I thought it was a century then.
Sanctuary. And that was a unique place that we were guided for like an hour and a half meditation, beautiful. And that's a place since I was 18 years old, I still go. It's like whenever you have a problem, whenever something happens, you can go to that place. And it could be outdoors, it could be a house. And that place has different like spots where you can connect with different areas. So for example, you connect with your spiritual self. You connect with your child self. You connect with your adult self. And so if I was to an exam, for example, I would have a room, that knowledge room. So
I like that.
It's beautiful.
Because then your mind will just slip into it a lot easier. The neurological pathways know when I'm here, this is where I go.
Exactly.
And it's less forced.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, like when I was in university, very difficult test, I would go to my sanctuary like 10 minutes before going into the classroom. And I remember they saying like, there is a room for costumes and there is a mirror. So do the meditation where you are changing the costumes and you are empowering, embodying what you need. So I was like, I'm embodying like the knowledge of blah, blah, blah,
So
because
you're
I feel
basically
confident.
embracing the archetype that this costume represents.
For example,
That's lovely.
yeah. And then obviously I will go to the room where I meet my higher self. So in that sound tray I have God as well. So I have a sound tray that probably has an outdoor area to the sea. And I imagine sometimes myself when I'm in trouble, like, and I just imagine God just holding me like that, like it's okay. And it's just,
I bet you just.
and I do that, like also I bring to my sound tray people I love. Sometimes it's like I really want them to be happy and just give that energy. So I have these visualizations that we are just being held by this beautiful energy of God. And for example, my family, when sometimes they are in trouble, it's like, let me bring them to this sound tray and just feel
like that
together.
Would really help you just drop this masculine need to solve and fix and protect. And
Yeah, I can be.
if something else is, it's just like, I can melt, I can soften.
Yeah.
I'm mindful that you do have other stuff that's coming on, and we haven't touched on, which I think the international business is quite important. You go to quite a few different bits, and I also do want to bring in the cacao as well.
Yes.
Obviously, we can have you on the show for different other deep dives, but do you think there's anything we've missed until we move on to those two subjects at all?
No, I think we can. Yeah.
Okay, so we're international businesswoman now. What do we do? Where do we go? What's happening? I remember you telling me something about working with the World Cup in Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
big football fan.
So actually, this is a nice, kind of like transition. So telling you about these 10 years, like I got lost and everything. I pray to God, like when I complete what I have to complete here in the UK, which was just to become a citizen, because I was like, even if I study here, I've been given, and that brought to what my dad said to me, like my youth. So 10 years of my youth are here in the UK. I can't just bye, thank you, and then go back home and then
part of your identity is now with that.
Exactly. And the fear of like going back home, and then if things were not right, where do I go? So I was like, okay, I'm giving the country, paying all my taxes, giving my energy, paying education. So I was like, I have contributed also to this economy. Yeah. So I deserve, and I'm going to work for it. You already described it. You work for things.
You've not come here to just take.
No. And I thought, like, okay, what do I need to become a citizen? So then that will be the goal. And when I reach that then I can be free in the world, because then I can go to Venezuela, and then if I can't make it there, I can still go to Europe at the time. No Brexit. So
we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Exactly. Let's not.
No comment.
So then I pray to God, like, please, when I achieve this, please give me a break. Give me a break to, and I get emotional. Give me a break to go back to my essence. And that was beautiful, because then I had another massive breakdown at work. Okay. And I was working for a really good company, etc. And I was being harassed or bullied by my manager, and I had to leave that job, and with no savings, because at the time it was just, I was maybe 27, 28. So that mentality of saving money, you are still kind of like building up. And I started here from scratch. I actually got here. When I got here with a luggage and 800 pounds. That was it. So that's probably, I missed it at the beginning. So I had to build myself from scratch. And I always describe it. I got here with a luggage filled with dreams and 800 pounds. And that was giving me just about 2 months of living here. If I didn't have a job in 5 days or a week, then I don't know, like, because again, my parents couldn't send any money. And my dad was like,
it's a lot.
You are going? Yeah. You're going. It's your decision. You are already 23, 24 years old, And I think he was broken, but he was doing it for the sake of giving me the right example. Okay. So anyway, going back, so yeah, I was, okay, let me achieve this, and then after that, I just need a break. Went through that massive breakdown also work-wise, and it was a massive cultural clash. And again, because I was free myself and maybe a little bit not as responsible as I should be, so I don't know whether I can't figure out like if I wasn't doing things right, but rather than being told like you are not doing things right, it was more about giving me a hard time. And at some point I was really put on the spot and I was kind of like harassed and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So if you don't want me in the job,
you respect yourself too much.
Exactly. I was like, just tell me, but don't put me in this situation. So anyway, I had to leave the job with no savings, etc. And I started again working, just giving away flyers. So after working corporate as a already management accountant, etc., I was like back on the street giving away flyers for a gym, getting
I've done that myself, by the way, and
you know, it was great. It was great.
People skills.
It's how you can go up and down quickly, and then you just adapt and just get on with life because there's so much.
All is for the best, as Voltaire would say.
£5 per hour. I remember.
Ooh,
I remember
raking it in.
And so anyway, right like when I was really down, and this is probably when I mentioned about the tablets, the depression 2005. We are here now in 2008-9.
Okay.
Then a job arrives, and it's Coca-Cola. And so I started working with them. And then I remember like within the first 2 or 3 weeks, I see this advert of like, we're doing the Olympics. If you're interested in being part, just sign up or whatever. And then I remember just meeting the right guy at the right time. And he came to do a lecture about the Olympics and engage the employees. And I went directly talk to him and I was like, I want to be part of your team, etc. And he was like, oh yeah, well, send me the CV and we'll see what we do. Right at that time in Coca-Cola, they were like, okay, you are ready for a promotion and you can build a career in Coca-Cola for the years to come. And, you know, like I was in that spot. And then I talked to this guy and he was like, yeah, I'm happy to take you in my team, come through the selection process. So this was just to go like that in my career with Coca-Cola. This, he said to me, is only 2 years contract. After that, I can't guarantee.
Who knows,
but you're going to work for the Olympics. Once in a lifetime experience.
I was going to say.
So I had this, you know, like decision making. And anyway, I was like, my heart was just beeping so like. And
like you'd had about 50 grams of cacao.
And I just went like that and I took the risk. And I was like.
I think the universe sees that.
And so to make the long story short, best job ever. Okay. Because I was managing the money for the activation for the whole Olympics in London 2012.
Oh, so it was in London, yeah, of course.
It was in London at that time. Yeah. So anyway, I think what really inspired me was the purpose of the Olympics. So it's about union, it's about community, it's about collaboration.
Healthy competition. Expression of culture.
Values, international. And just being part of Coca-Cola, the experiences they do to celebrate, you know, people's achievements and the athlete was like, every day I was just waking up like so full of energy. And I was managing the money for the marketing team. So I was in all the events, music, production, artists. It was amazing.
Did you meet Usain Bolt? So did you meet Mr. Bolt?
Yeah, I was very close. And then the tennis players. So obviously we were working during the Olympics, like filling up, you know, like we were helping to fill up the fridges. Okay. So for example, in Wimbledon, I was there and then I was seeing this guy, Murray, like who was very famous at the time. And, you know, like...
Nadal, Federer, Djokovic.
Nadal, I don't think I saw
Bit too early for them.
Yeah, I saw Nadal in Brazil, but anyway, I will come back. But just feeling like, and you're just seeing like the athletes, and it's like, hello, like just kind of like getting all the sweat and everything.
I love.
So it was amazing. And I think that year for the Olympics, I got my citizenship. I got, well, obviously to work in the best job ever. And then I remember like putting myself goals to get that break that I pray for. I was like, I need to have something that I can invest here in the UK that give me a little bit of a base. So anyway, I achieved that, and then I started a second career because with the Master International Business, I wasn't really going anywhere because it was like too general. Okay. So they were like, if you're an accountant, you're better off to something called Chartered Management Accountant, which is a global qualification. Okay. And you will be in a better position to apply for jobs because you are not from here, the English, there were a lot of limitations. And you're like, oh, really? Okay. So anyway, when I got and I reached all of that, like citizenship, a little bit of an investment, like a home, and then the career, then Olympics was finishing, and then my boss said to me, "Why don't you just go to Brazil now? They're going to do the World Cup and
that would be
the
so
Olympics.
exciting.
Just go there, and you've done an amazing job here, so just go." And suddenly it was like, this is a break. This is going to be...
This was what you'd been praying for.
And that was...
How was it?
Paid holidays, amazing. And that's where the whole healing process started.
Do you care about football, or is that just... was it more the event and the grand...
I really had a great time.
Yeah.
It was, again, going back
You didn't need to like football for it to be...
No.
I'm a massive Man United fan and a massive... huge football. I threw a lot of stuff away that wasn't serving me. Football's like the one thing I've kept, where I've removed this toxicity of division and needing to be better than people and using it to sort of let my emotions out that I won't be with, and now I can just appreciate the sport. Hard to do that as a Man United fan right now. It isn't going well, but Brazil, I could just imagine that, because that is the team. When you think of international football, Brazil. So to actually be in that carnival atmosphere.
No, incredible.
I'm so jealous.
Amazing. And again,
I'm glad you got to experience it.
Yes, it's about believing, trusting. I think trusting is probably the word. I probably just send it to faith.
That's been one of my buzzwords. I had 3 words at the start of this year. It was calm, certainty, not fracturing my energy, because where your energy goes is what you're going to manifest, but also faith. I've struggled with faith my whole life, that something's looking out for me. I think I just thought I had to take the reins, whereas it feels like that was a big part for you.
Absolutely.
It's like you breathe when you know it's not all on you. Something else cares.
Absolutely. Well, it was, because again, conscious a little bit of time, but Brazil was then that opportunity to reconnect with my essence, and working with the World Cup and the Olympics. I was there for 5 years, make an amazing family there of expat that today, 10 years, 12 years later, we're still really well connected. And so the way that Brazil kind of like helped into the whole, transition, health, etc., was like, at the time I had to leave Brazil to come back to the UK. Obviously, it was 5 years of joy. There were adversities as well, but we can talk about that, otherwise, exactly. And actually, that's a completely whole episode.
Well, you'll be a friend of the show now, so the way I have it is the guest comes on, gives us a bit of a summary. You can't summarize a human in 1 or 2 hours.
No.
So let's have a subject that we actually look at next.
There are so many learnings and insights from my time. For me, that's another life chapter completely.
Stay tuned.
Exactly. And there's so much to share, but I think the key point and connecting that to Amazonic was that when I had to come back to the UK because the contract was finished, then I decided to go to this retreat in the coast, in one of the most beautiful coasts in Brazil. And it was yoga music and surf. So I want to learn surfing, etc., and meditate and yoga. And so one of the experiences was a cacao ceremony. And this is back in 2017. And that's exactly where, boom, that, the download and the message was clear. I went to that retreat with the intention of finding purpose, because after working for 8 years for a company like Coca-Cola, for these events, I was like, I don't see myself going back to corporate 9 to 5, being an accountant. I was going back to depression again in a way. So I was like, I need to find something that really fills my heart.
Connection to purpose.
Totally.
Because Gabor Mate's a healthy human, he says, must be connected to themselves.
Exactly.
Must be connected to others. Must be connected to nature, but also connected to purpose. Because purpose is your north light. Gives you something to follow. As long as you're not attached to it,
correct,
then it gives you something.
Exactly.
A light to guide the path.
Exactly. So went to this retreat, beautiful. First cacao ceremony, went with that intention. Venezuela 2017 was going through like one of the, highest or biggest, I can't remember. It was a really hard moment for Venezuela at that time. It wasn't good at all. So it was one of the most probably not traumatic, I would say, but yeah, hardest times ever. So I remember I was like, what do I do? Do I go back to the UK? Obviously, I could come back here because I had my citizenship. But then, do I go back to Venezuela? Like, what do I do anyway? So that whole thing brought me to, what about if I build a bridge between the two? But anyway, that came when I did that cacao ceremony. That, again, going back to my party's behaviors, etc. Then when I try cacao and it's with a trance dance and we are all blindfolded, we are all guided and, through the Mama Cacao with 50 grams of cacao.
Dose.
Yeah.
I've done 50 grams. We spoke about Liam Brown and he did one and it was just like 50 grams is another level.
It's another level. Well, I was like non-stop dancing for 2 hours, but I could feel the music because we were blindfolded and they said, you do whatever you want. If you feel a mat, that's your sign to kind of like step back.
Okay.
But we were 80 people dancing,
so big.
And I couldn't feel anyone. Blindfolded. I don't know how they did it until like
cool.
Today. Yeah. I have no idea.
Can we do that? Well, I'll be the DJ.
David. I mean that was, and we had like drums and live music, and we were like outside not in the beach in Anoka, but we were like with the sea, like
it sounds
and a river. And I came out of that, and the river, like you have the river and then the sea there. I could see these like things that they light up in the water.
Yeah, the little sort of like lantern things.
The feeling was incredible. I was like, hang on one second. Country going through a lot of, like hard time. Me going back to the UK. I know the UK already has been 12, 13 years. I know Venezuela. I want to be close to my roots. I have just discovered the most amazing medicine in the world, and the production is in my country. So I can help my country, give back, but also because it's not safe right now, I don't have a lot of opportunities right now there. I can still go back to London, but just make that bridge and just bring the medicine, and then I'm helping my country, etc. And so that's how Amazonic started, just a invitation for 100% cacao, and just to integrate that as part of the daily routine. And right now we are definitely like growing. So right now I'm between UK and Venezuela, spending more time with the farmers, learning more from the land to bring that authenticity, that trust, and that credibility to our consumers here in the UK.
I think that's important, that it's coming from somebody who does understand the land, not just conceptually, but they live it. That's their heart, that's their ancestry, and they really understand what they're bringing to people. And there's nothing wrong with somebody, say like a Liam Brown, bringing it over and working with it and with reverence, but I do lean towards, if it's possible, somebody who just has that deeper connection with it. And I think it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean, I also noticed that you have an eye for sort of like the business side, it's well packaged, everything looks fantastic, the way you speak about it, even like your little setup here, everything's done with class, but this little Venezuelan flair.
Touch, yeah.
And I really love that. Is there anything about Amazonic and the different, because there is 4 or 5 different ones, if you wanted to just maybe touch on, like, because I know you spoke about how long it's roasted, if it's grown nearer to the sea or if it's in the mountains, and I just thought maybe it'd be nice, somebody who understands it to your level, if you could just give us the audience a bit of an idea.
So at the moment we have four origins, or four different origins, So Sur del Lago is from the northwest of the country, and that's kind of like it's close to an area that is close to the Andes, let's put it that way. Okay, so it's not kind of like mountain, it's a combination between mountain and a little bit hot. So that's probably the first origin. It's probably, I would say, in terms of taste and quite rich. It's not too bitter, not too sweet. I would say it's kind of like medium. Okay, all the cacaos are normally like dry and roasted. We can't say that it's fully raw because there are so many different definitions about raw. What we know is that it hasn't got any sugar added. So and the process is very natural. So from getting the beans, fermenting them with the banana leaf, then, drying, roasting them with the sun, and then passing from the process of separating the beans from the nibs, and then, making the nibs a paste. That's basically what it is. So the first one is Sur del Lago. Is how we started, okay? And we work with people from Venezuela as well, and just to make that here in London. So we have a collaboration here in London, someone that processes the beans. The second one, or the other three, are definitely, direct relationship with the farmers, me curating the actual bars, going to the farm myself and learning from the farmer where it comes from, etc.
I'd love to come and do that one
Yes,
time.
please. No, absolutely. That's coming. Organizing visits and retreats. And because I appreciate that people might feel like, Venezuela, that's one of the reasons.
You want to show that it's not just that.
No. And also I want to make sure that people who decide and trust us to come to the land, they're safe. For me, that's paramount. So I'm not going to be, just come, everything is fine. No, let me make sure that for the people who are coming, definitely we have all the infrastructure to be, for me, safe. Like, I go there, spend 6 months, come back, etc. It's fine. But I appreciate that for some other people who are not from there might not be the case. So we'll make sure that, we got all the infrastructure necessary. So the other three origins is Cuyagua. Cuyagua is the one that is close to the sea, as well as Chuao is the second one. So those two are kind of like the same sort of coast. Chuao is the paramount one. It's the worldwide known as the finest cacao in the world, because the climate, and also it's got the ancestrality. Like, there are so many, like histories around that. And like people, there was a combination, people coming when the Spaniards came over, and there were people coming also from Africa. A way for them to kind of like stay connected, they were put to harvest the cacao. They used to sing to the cacao.
Mama Cacao.
There is a special song there.
Ooh,
and I can play it. It's así. It's like that. Que viva, lo dejó sembrado Doña Catalina, el cacao de Chuao, que viva, el cacao de Chuao, que viva, ajá, que viva, lo dejó sembrado Doña Catalina.
You're going to have to teach it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to.
So people in Chuao, they actually sing to the cacao. There is a ritual there just for harvesting the cacao.
Sound vibration, all is vibration, energy. Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. Well, if you sing towards it, it then matches with that.
And there is something about that cacao that makes it so special. And so that's one, and that's by the sea. And for you to reach that land, you have to go by boat.
Okay.
There is no way to get in any other way. And it's kind of like very reserved. It's not like it's a massive land. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, 200-300 hectares. Don't take my word for granted.
Roundabouts.
But you go and you get in a boat, and then you get in a pickup, like these rustic, cars that you go like open doors and you just sit at the back and you are just like going with people. And it's just a road full of cacao trees, maybe like about 8 kilometers.
Ooh.
Like, and then you're talking to people and they're so hospitable. Like they just open arms and come and meet. And there is a little school. So it's a little village, probably maybe, I don't know, 1,000 people, maybe. And they are the ones also kind of like growing the cacao and everything. And then Cuyagua is kind of like on the same coast, but not on another side.
Okay.
And that probably, I would say, Chuao is quite bitter. It's quite a strong cacao. It's earthy, you can feel the texture. Whereas Cuyagua, it's a little bit different. It's just because the way it's harvested is around like orange trees of oranges, banana leaf, etc. Then that kind of like integrates with the beans. And so the flavors change. So every farmer...
Each one I've had has been like...
Every farmer will have a different... So for me, what is important is the additions that I offer and invite people to have. I've been to the farm and I know what's going on and I know how they grow it. You know, like I could be offering many different varieties, and it's like, no, I just need to connect also with the values of the farmer.
Yeah, less is
So when I have this story and I have this connection, and we have, and I also, you know, take the content just to share with people there is a real story behind it.
Yeah.
Like
it's not some heartless factory just churning out.
No, exactly.
I won't say the name so we get sued, but
and I've been to other farms, and it's like, well, maybe it's not that they're doing anything wrong or right, but it's maybe I don't feel the alignment. So it's kind of like, maybe not now, maybe in the future, who
or
knows?
maybe somebody else, but just for me. I can see that heart and mind has to align with it.
So for me, it has to be, it's one of the criteria to do what we're doing.
Not just anybody.
No. And then we have Canoabo, which is grown in the mountains, in a valley, 800 meters from the sea level. Beautiful, is close to my homeland, will you say? So beautiful is a family-based business as well. They've been doing it for 15 years. They really care not only about the land, but also about the village there. So I think they're probably around, I don't know whether it's 1,000, maybe a little bit less, but they also help people like with the schools, giving locals employment, etc.
You're not just getting a Mama Cacao, you're actually helping brothers and sisters out.
No. So for me, that's all, really key.
I mean, like I said, words are great. And we're doing our best, but words are clumsy. To describe an experience, it doesn't come close.
Exactly.
So we've got everything on the Meditation with Michael website. If anyone wants to check it, we've got the nibs, we've got the husks for the cacao tea, different weights, different options. You've got like the coins for those who can't see, obviously. The
coins are great for like...
It's like a 1 or 2 drink coin,
practical,
isn't it?
It's express because you don't need to cut it, to measure it. Like, I think the bars are really good for people who want to really spend the time and connect with the plant. But then we know that not everyone probably has the time.
Not everyone's, we've got kids, we've got work, we've got 100 jobs like you on the go.
Exactly. So then, a coin of 30 grams is a medium dose. Boom. Just 300 ml of water. Just garnish as you wish and as your heart tells you.
And you've got little recipes as well, and
they are all at the back of the bar. They are on the website. They're everywhere, and also we are available for people to, for any questions. Yeah.
So, is there any? I know we're coming towards the end. I would love to keep on talking. Is there anything you feel like you've not shared with the audience that's really important to you?
Just probably I will say for people who are new into the cacao, like just give yourself the opportunity to experience it and come with an intention.
I was about to say intention.
It's an experience, like an intention with experience. It can just, and I will probably also invite people that when they do that, they can come to a group and a group experience, like yourself, you conduct all of that. But also something that we can integrate in our daily life, just with ourselves. Like sometimes it's being ritualized a lot. Like, you have to do a cacao ceremony. I don't call Amazonic we offer cacao ceremonies. I prefer to say we invite people and we offer experiences with cacao that help people to, transform their life or just support their wellness. I leave the ceremony more a little bit for the ancestors and, the shamans, and I'm not there.
You're not trying to claim that you can do that.
I respect very much the
I know when we had Liam on last time, that he spoke about some of the health benefits. People who haven't seen that episode, I was just wondering if you could share some of the health benefits as well, because we're talking about connecting to the heart, connecting to the plant, our ancestors, but there are just scientific, that's not science facts that definitely cacao is an antidepressant. Talking about depression, is an antidepressant. Funny how you found it.
Yes, because the cacao, the theobromine, the theobromine is the main ingredient. Of the cacao, it produces serotonin and endorphins, which are, natural mood enhancers, chemicals, neurotransmitters that we can produce in our brain. It's also really good for your cardiovascular system because it helps with the circulation. Exactly. And that's why it's a medicine for the heart.
That's why they say it's a heart opener.
Exactly.
But the heart must be open to receive what the universe wants to give you.
But it's more about the circulation. It also helps to decrease the risk of diabetes.
Okay.
It's really good as an anti-inflammatory. It's got magnesium, zinc, potassium. So it's really good also for people post-workout recovery, because you can drink that, and even pre-workout, because it's a natural energizer. So it's a great...
It's got a small bit of caffeine, right?
No, it's theobromine. It's theobromine.
It's just that, okay.
And the flavonols, so there is no caffeine in cacao. So that's why I don't have anything against coffee, because but coffee is really lovely.
Done in the right way, maybe.
But cacao provides a more sustained...
I was about to say it's gentler, it's more balanced, in my opinion.
The coffee gives you like really good energy, and then goes down. Whereas cacao gives you very well sustained energy.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. And then, you have this kind of like, when I drink cacao and I drink it with intention, I get clarity, I get focus, get productive, and then I feel good. And then any challenges that I have during the day, I don't know, like I take them differently, because my serotonins and endorphins are there. Sometimes things I will be like, I'll be very frustrated. It's like, I'm still frustrated, but the way I'm handling is completely different. So
it doesn't matter about that, as long as you have this state of equanimity and balance. Like, people think that Zen is you on these rocks with the trees and the birds and the what. No. Zen is being able to sit in the fire and smile back.
Exactly.
Smile back.
Yeah. And of course, from a spiritual point of view, because of all these combinations, serotonin, endorphins, the magnesium, and that kind of like circulation helps to unblock emotions, because you are kind of like more tuned, like it really helps to feel integrated. So there is download of information when you're drinking cacao, like the things that you think and you meditate and you reflect. It helps to unblock emotions. So many people have manifested, like, when I drink cacao and I'm in a meditation suddenly and I hear a song, music, I just get tears. And it's a sign of like the body cleansing. When there are tears naturally...
Tears literally carry toxins out of the body.
It's a cleanse.
Never mind the emotional reverberations that happen. It actually shakes out the serious, the rigidity, the blocks.
Yeah.
So be mindful of time then. So you can find all this on the Meditation with Michael. We've got a beautiful collaboration, which is only going to grow after I've had my little trip into the ancient forest, which this will be coming out after that anyway. I'll be a different person by then, maybe. But how can people find Amazonic? You've got Instagram.
Instagram, Amazonic Cacao. Then, we got the website. It's amazoniccacao.com. And, those probably are the two direct places where, we can connect. But yes, and any questions? Yes, It's not. It's about connecting. Actually,
we're calm. It's not very. Come and say hello.
And thank you so much for your time today and for the space. I really enjoy this conversation.
Hotel, right?
Yeah.
Give a shout out to the Treehouse Hotel.
Yeah.
Beautiful spot.
Beautiful.
So very accommodating for us.
And I would like to say thank you also to my brother, Rafael, who made this happen as well. So this hotel is part of where he works, and he kindly accommodates.
Shout out to Rafael as well.
That's
a good name.
We love you, Rafa.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. I hope you guys got a bit of a taste of Amazonic and Marjory, but if anyone wants to find out more, they can go on those details. Otherwise, thanks for joining us, and
thank you.
Peace and love,
Thank
guys.
you for having me. Peace and love. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Who on Earth is back, and wasn't she such a lovely guest? For me, Marjory was just such a pure, intentioned person that it just, the second I met her, because I had a friend who had met, funny enough, I was a meditation teacher at this philosophy festival, and she was a yoga teacher, and the friend was like, you gotta try Amazonic. Amazonic's so good, you gotta try it. And the woman who runs it, I love her to bits. So I was like, go on then. I had a little chat with Marjory, and I was like, straight away, I was like, this is a person I want to work with. Got all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. Got a nice little free sample, so I could, obviously you got to try it before you put it on your store. And I was like, this stuff is beautiful. And we've got already William Brown, who's been, bringing the cacao people out, and he's such a cool guy, bringing that Manchester humour, that relatableness, that authenticity. And then you've got Marjory, and I felt like they were quite a good, almost yin and yang vibe, eh? So we bring them both together, we help a lot of people get off that coffee train, stop stimulating yourself into insanity. Have a nice cup of Mama Cacao and open your heart. So if you want to check out Amazonic, I'm going to put all the links in the description. And you want to see about more, you want to get in touch with Marjory, I'll put her Instagram as well, because she's such a lovely person. Next episode I'm going to be doing is I like going to these more conscious festivals. You know, I used to be a Manchester party boy, drinking, drugs, all that sort of, the shit. And I go to these conscious festivals, and I went to 6 last year. It's no wonder I've got this burnout, this chronic fatigue, this chronic pain that's come up because I was pushing myself too hard. But this one was worth it. It's called Soul Revolution, and it's this beautiful guy called Alex, and it had been growing and growing, and then I'd heard echoes of it. And then when I finally went, some of my favourite guests, they had Marcus Gad, go check him out. They had Sam Garrett, who's such a top face soul. I'm going to try my best. Antarma knows him, and I'm going to try my best to get him on. He did say he would come on, but I'm sure he's a busy man. And loads of great guests. Aoife Wood were there as well, and it was such a good festival, but it was really, you could tell it wasn't just about, hey, go and enjoy yourself. It had a deeper message to it. So I wanted to get Alex on the show. So as of recording this, I'm actually going to interview Alex tomorrow. I'm pushing the boat out. I'm going to go down to Wolverhampton, use up what strength I've got, make sure we get this guy's story. So that should be episode 14 for you. If you did enjoy the episode with Marjory, like I said, the links will be there so you can try Amazonic's beautiful cacao yourself. But if you want to support getting more guests like that on, like I said at the start of the show, can't be bothered doing the sales finger. If you liked it, could you like it? If you want to comment as well, I'm always down to hear what people think about the guests. If it might have touched you, something that Marjory expressed that you just really felt, I need to say something, then get into the comments, man. I want a community. I want people who are talking to each other. And then if you don't want to miss guests like Alex that's coming up, and trust me, might not have a lot of energy right now, but I'm going to be bringing it either way, just maybe a bit more slower than I was doing. So I'm not promising an episode every 2 weeks like I was doing. I'm just going to tap into my intuition, which says, right, it's right. Right now, have a rest. Right, it's right. And hopefully by doing that, I will build my strength back up. But there, subscribing, it helps support me. And if you like my vibe, you like what we're about, sharing the stories, who on earth are we sharing this bloody planet with? Yeah, anything that you do to support the show is much appreciated. I don't feel like I've been too on form, but I'm kind of over that nowadays. This is the real Michael who just wants to share a bit of love, bit of connection with other people, and if you're about that, I appreciate you staying till the end. Oh yeah, the advert as well, because we've obviously now got the Aoife Herbal stuff. I should have mentioned in the advert, which I've still got to record, so it's weird time lapse I'm doing here now. If you did want to tap into them, they're on the Meditation with Michael website, so I'll put the link there for you. And the Beautiful Morning one, that'll be coming soon. I can't wait to try it myself, to be honest. I could do with a pick me up in the morning. So I'll put all the links for the Meditation with Michael store, which is on the website, Meditation with Michael. All the links for Marjory so you can catch her. Otherwise, guys, thanks for staying till the end. I appreciate the love, and your time is the most precious thing you gave me, so that really means a lot. Until next time, peace and love.